All right, hi everybody. Time for the digital marketing news this week. Is this going to be the start of a comeback for everybody? Are we heading in the right direction? Are we turning a corner? Are we opening things up? Man, I hope so. As we're seeing states reopen more and more, I'm getting excited, right? I mean, obviously there's been some bad stuff that's happened. It's impacted everybody, but think about this. So Trump, right, our president, he's come out with a phase plan. The governors have accepted it, as something they can think about for their own states. Now they're starting to impose that on the state level due to things going down with COVID, and you need to adapt your marketing strategy to that phase plan so that you can scale out on the state level. It's all state level, right? All the policies are on the state level, all the infection counts, everything is on the state level. And of course the country level if you're around the globe. So that's one thing I just want everybody to think about. I wanted to start there. Okay, so what happened in the news this week? Some stuff. So first thing, Google rolls out Podcast Manager tool. So in the past week, Google introduced Podcast Manager. It's a tool that provides analytics about your podcast. How cool. I can't wait to do that for my own podcast. Specifically, Podcast Manager gives you insights about minutes played, listening duration, and retention. And Spotify already had a similar tool, but then Google just decided to come in and crush it. Next thing, Google has removed more than 2.7 billion bad ads in 2019. So they're taking down the stuff that they don't want to be out there, obviously. So that's an increase of 2.3 billion ads that they removed in 2018. And specifically, Google targeted deceptive ads that pretended to help people get passports, all this stuff. So they're taking down bad ads. I've seen this quite a bit. I won't go into specifics. Next thing, Pinterest adds 32 million users in Q1, which makes sense, right? Because with all this COVID stuff and people being at home, there's a lot of do-it-yourself. There's a lot of like home decor, a lot of thinking about the future and designing and all that, and people thinking about what they want to do when they get out of this. I just got off a webinar 5 minutes ago talking about this, and I've got a lot of data on it. If you want to learn more about it, check out the webinar I did. How 100 businesses are responding to the coronavirus on our YouTube channel. But basically, they added a ton of people. Pinterest is growing a lot, which makes a lot of sense. They also have added a couple new features there for advertising. Things are doing well there on the Pinterest side. Next thing, Twitter hits 166 million DAUs. So Twitter has benefited from social distancing. And in their most recently quarterly report, they have added 166 million DAUs. What's DAUs? Pop quiz. Do you know what that means? Daily active users. I didn't know what that was either. So when I said DAUs a minute ago, I acted like I knew what it was, but I didn't. Daily active users. I should, though, because it's probably a digital marketing metric. Anyway, so that's an increase in 14 million from the previous quarter. Social media is growing. Pinterest exploding. Twitter growing like crazy. So they said this is typical due to seasonal strength, but then it's even more engagement due to COVID. I think social media is making a huge comeback right now. I said this last week. I'm focusing there a lot. Like I think that it's every business needs to double down. This is a big one. We did an individual story on this week. Shop and Yelp roll out omni-channel solutions. So Shopify and Yelp came out with these things that are kind of interesting. So they rolled out these new features, and they make it easier to integrate your online and your offline strategy. And so it's a couple new tools. So Yelp now displays an icon in search results that identify businesses offering online services that are on Yelp. Okay, and so that virtual classes, virtual consultations. If we offer virtual consultations, which we do, we would update that. So I guess I need to do that. And then Shopify released this new point of sale solution that combines online and offline capabilities. So it's a point of sale solution that integrates directly with your Shopify online store. And it's a mobile checkout, curbside, in-store pickup type of stuff. Really smart move. Good job. I was working with this other company. It's a competitor to Shopify, and they were working on the same thing. So I guess people are trying to integrate offline with their e-commerce site so you can connect all that data. Super smart. Next thing, LinkedIn got kicked out of Google temporarily. So there's this huge Google update that went out. I'm so happy it went out. I saw a bunch of positive stuff happen, across a bunch of different sites. Some that I own, some that I work on, stuff like that. And anyway, so this Google update happened. It looks like when that Google update happened, Google decided to kick LinkedIn out of the update. So for a little while, you couldn't find any LinkedIn things inside of Google. So like if you Google John Lincoln, usually my LinkedIn profile would pop up. I guess that was gone. Anyways, they fixed it. Next thing, Google says if you have to choose between desktop and mobile, go mobile. So I think in general, right, mobile first. We've been talking about this for a little while. But what they said is John Mueller, the main SEO guy, recently told SEOs that to have a mobile version of website and a desktop version, but they should prioritize the mobile version. That's of course because the mobile first index. Google looks at all your mobile stuff now, and they kind of rank that for your overall website. It's the most important thing. This core update went out, the Google core update. So if you don't know a lot about core updates, then go ahead and check out the article that I wrote on it. Just kind of talks about like everything that we know about it so far. Obviously, I'll be doing a recap in the next 2 to 4 weeks about what we've seen, and you'll be able to find all that on Ignite. I'll probably make a video on it, similar to what I did for the BERT update. But yeah, so there's a big Google update. I haven't seen. Actually, that's not true. I've seen drops. One site in particular, I saw a drop, and then a couple other ones I've seen gains. And people have been sending me their screenshots on LinkedIn. Quite a couple people. Thank you for doing that. People are sending me screenshots on LinkedIn, direct messaging me. Do that if you don't mind. Direct message me your stuff on LinkedIn if your site's going up or down. I promise not to reveal exactly what the site is, but I just like seeing it. I appreciate it. Next thing, Google, if you see lots of 404s in Search Console, check your internal links. So that's interesting. So every website has links inside of the site that link to itself, also link to the site. And I saw this issue not too long ago with the site. So if you're linking to a broken page on your own site, then that can create a 404, and that's why they pop up in Search Console. So you want to fix that link and don't link to a broken page. If you notice any soft 404s, check out, this is your homework, check out that page and see if that's linking to a broken page. Keep your eye on your rankings over the next couple weeks with this Google update, right? If you've got both desktop and mobile versions of your site, you should be concentrating more on the mobile version. I'm kind of thinking about just making every page AMP out there. What do you think about that? I might test that. I've been doing a lot of tests lately. And then take a look at new features offered by Shopify and Yelp. These kind of seem like if you're Shopify, you kind of are going to need to buy that POS point of sale device no matter what. So they're probably make some money off that. And if you're on Yelp, you're going to need to update your listing based off of these new features. And then go get Google Podcast Manager, right? Now podcasts are ranked in Google. They've got podcast analytics. I can't wait to check that out. That'll be cool. I hope that they integrate with all the different podcast analytic platforms out there, which I don't know if they do. Last thing, I came out this really cool tool on the #1 conversion rate optimization free tool that you're not using that can grow your conversions by a lot. It's actually a really cool tool. It's on YouTube right now. I do a whole demo on it. And then feel free to check out my new course on John Lincoln Marketing where I go over SEO and intent. I'm going to be doing another course in the next couple of weeks on the perfect digital marketing strategy, similar to my Forecaster book. And other than that, I just hope you're doing well. Like, comment, subscribe. I love hearing from you. It really gets me excited chatting with everybody on LinkedIn and YouTube. I read all those comments. I really appreciate them. Have a great day. See you next time.